Hey guys, what's another video? Staying with Dad, say like that.
Hello, everybody. Hope you've all had a good week, because our week has come to a falter, to be honest, Dan. I think, you know what? I think enough's enough. Let's lay our cards on the table, Dan. What's happening to our beloved club and who's to blame? Now, I'll tell you what, Mike, can I go on a quick rant and then I'll leave you to have a chat?
Go for it.
I reckon that the cracks started to appear, my mate, under Slaven Bilic, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think we were fortunate to get promotion, but you know what? I think the players literally believed in Slav and really put a shift in. But I think that the way that Slav was dismissed after what can only be described as a fantastic result against Man City, then started our decline. We get rid of the bloke who injected passion and commitment and desire, all the things we want, till he goes. So we get Big Sam in, right? All right, admittedly, Big Sam's got his connections and he got some lonely players and he got a tune out of them, yeah? But then, this is a crucial period for Albion. When Big Sam decided to leave, right, he'd done that for a reason. He must have realised that there was no cash, there was no budget. And you know what? I just find it incredulous, right, that Sam comes out in the press recently and says that if he realised there was £2 million to spend, he'd have stayed on so he could lift the lid. I just think to myself, you know what? We made an expensive gamble with Val, and it hasn't paid off. And you know what? The other thing is, I think that the overall recruitment policy, the scouting, the finances. I mean, Dan, little things like the club shop, Monday to Friday, right, it doesn't open. When I asked the question, right, the official reason was the footfall, it wasn't making much money. Well, I've got one for you, right? If that's the case, we don't score, we don't win, the players don't seem interested, so why the bloody hell should we go?
Spot on. I'm be honest with you, right? I feel like it started since the start of the season. Like, you could see there was a bit of discomfort with Chris Wilder. The owners didn't want him after what happened with Sheffield United. Then Luke Downing's left. Ron Gourlay's come in. And after what the Reading fans have said, he's not the greatest. Like, he's giving people bumper contracts. People couldn't see it, but personally, I'm seeing it now with players like Connor Townsend, Carl Bartley, Matt Phillips. They're all getting bumper contracts. Even Adam Reach got a 3-year deal. He's going to be on quite a lot of money. And Alex Mel, I've heard him one of the biggest players of the club. If you look at that, we're going to be in a lot of trouble and a lot of debt.
Dan, I agree with you, and it's well said what you've just said there. In this moment in time, right, there's nothing Premiership about West Bromwich Albion. Quite simply, Dan, the players are not good enough. You know, in a way, I feel sorry for him because you know what? I know you're going to think I'm crazy. It may not be their fault in as much as they've signed a contract. West Brom approached them. They're playing to the best of their ability. You know what? If they ain't fit to wear the shirt, I think they're scared witless on match days. And I've heard a little rumour, as you do, that the players just don't get on. And if that's the case, Dan, that you can see that, the body language, they're not interested. I've just wondered, Dan, if there's any way we can terminate some of the players' contracts. Because I'll come back to what you say, right? Ron Gourlay, Albion realise there's a problem, so they've got running. He ain't going to be able to sort it out. No, you cannot force people to play to the best of their ability. The only way you can do it is, the Albion fans voting with their feet. I dread to think the season ticket renewals are going to be like. You know what? Steve Bruce hasn't showed himself in glory. It's not his fault. But you know what? There's too many people who have left the club, playing staff and beyond, like people like Dan Ashworth, and they haven't replaced them with suitable or even better people. It's a disgrace. And my question is this to you and anybody else who wants to listen, is why did Lai and the company buy West Bromwich Albion? What do they see in the Albion? You know, what's their plan? It's all right, Ron Gourlay is saying, want to be close to the fans. Start bloody playing football.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I feel like, again, the recruitment in the summer wasn't good enough. Matt Clark is okay. Alex Mel on a free. Adam Reach on a free. I'm like, again, it's not really promotion worthy, is it?
Dan, I agree with you. I'll tell you one thing that baffles me, and I know I'm going over old ground. What on earth did they see in Val? He hadn't got Barnsley promoted anyway. And let me tell you, right, I'm not a brain surgeon, but I think to myself, right, if you want to go into the promised land, which is the Premiership, you don't sign players from other lower down divisions.
I know, because Sheffield Wednesday went down,
didn't they? Who's the leader in the Albion?
Who's the leader of the Albion?
Absolutely, Dan. Who's the leaders? Come on, on the pitch.
It
Who
might,
can you think cares?
if at the moment, the only person that caring is Andy Carroll. I mean, I always seen Cole Byer as a leader, but however, I haven't seen the performances recently. Connor Townsend, he's been up there, but now his performances have always come down low. I don't know what's happening at the moment, really. But honest opinion is, I put a poll up the other day, Dad, and then all the people that clicked on it said it was the player's fault. Do you agree with that?
100%. And I'll tell you what reinforces that, Daniel, is the fact that Steve Bruce has come out in the press and said, what goes on in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. And that tells me there's disharmony. And you know what? We ain't going to get promotion. I don't want us to get promotion. No. Where our club goes from here, I do not know. But I'll tell you what, the players are not putting it in. It's shambolic to see. I mean, we're going to Hull. We spent a bloody fortune watching the poop. Listen, we love the Albion. We always will. We have got an opinion. And you know what? I want to speak to Ron Gawley himself because I've had enough of this, Dan.
Sam I've as well. I feel like, who would you say at the moment isn't playing the best? Like, you can see like Adam Reach, for example. But I feel like some players like Connor Townsend, Darnell Furlong especially, he's had so much praises. Callum Robinson, I'm not going to lie, I was a big fan of Callum Robinson, Colin Grant, but at the moment, they're not good enough. I think for the rest of the season, it's got to be the youngsters for me. Definitely, it's got to be the youngsters. Because I've tried with so many Albion fans, that's what they agree with me on.
I agree with you.
So I think,
I agree with you.
What would you say for the rest of the season should be the plan? Just to keep the boat steady, because at the moment, if we were going to go into next season like this, we'd be in the relegation scrap, wouldn't we?
Dan, I'd turn the boat over if I was in charge. I'd say to them, look, I'll give you enough chances. You know what would be ironic, Dan? If Steve Bruce said, you know what, sod this, you lot ain't playing. It's my name on the door. I'm out of here. I'll tell you what, if I would do that if I was Steve Bruce, because he's going to get pelters now, because he's in charge of a ship full of people who don't care.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like when he came, I don't think he realised how big of a job it was, like how bad it was behind the scenes, for example. And like, I know Newcastle fans say, oh yeah, you see what he's done to us, now he's doing it to you. But I do agree with that. But then I don't, because I feel like it's our problem in the first place. And he's just joined ship halfway through and is going down with us. What do you think?
Dan, you know what I say to these Newcastle fans? I'll say to these Newcastle fans, bollocks. Because you know what? Eddie Howe's just spent 100 million on players. Stevie Bruce ain't got that luxury. He's our manager. I ain't going to criticise him just yet. It's the players I'm aiming my frustration at. The players' agents, the finance people behind the scenes. You know what? Tell the Newcastle fans to concentrate on their own club. Leave us alone. We've got bigger problems. And by the way, we love the Albion. We always will. And I'm not turning on Steve Bruce. I'm turning on the players, Dan.
If it was you, though, before we end, what formation would you start on Saturday against Hull, and who would you start?
Oh, Dan, it's a question, you know, I'd struggle to answer. I don't think there's need for 4-4-2. I don't, you know, Dan, my honest answer is I don't know. As for players, I could tell you the players I wouldn't want to play, and I certainly wouldn't play Furlong. I wouldn't play Grant. I wouldn't play Reach. I wouldn't play Malumbu. I wouldn't play Muff. I think it's, you know, something, Dan. Get the kids in. We can't. Honestly, we cannot do any more. And I'd love for them kids. Yeah, I'd love for them kids to get an appearance fee.
Oh, exactly, definitely. I feel like some of these players really need to step up now when you can clearly see there's something really wrong at the Albion, because we're going to keep slipping down the table. Fair play to Swansea on Monday. Fair play to Preston. Fair play to all the team that come to the Hawthorns and just beat us. We've gone away. We always go away from them. Even the Luton fans gave me stick the other week. Fair enough to them, because their players play pride for the shirt and everything, and that's why they get those wins, Dad.
Yeah, Dan, you know something? It seems to me during our conversation there's a lot more questions than answers. I think that Jake Livermore should stand up and say to these players, look, lads, let's give it everything till the end of the season.
Exactly.
Because our club is rotten to the core at the moment, Dan. And I don't like going down the Hawthorns, if I'm going to be honest.
I neither. I really don't like them. I feel like, of course, it was like away against whoever. It's just toxic down the Hawthorns at the moment, isn't it? And it's not going to change, is it, with the performances like this coming out each week?
Yeah, I'll tell you something, Daniel. In the big wide world of commerce, poor performing members of staff, they get managed out of the business. Get these deadwood out the Albion. Exactly. Start again. Because let's start. We're going to have to write this season off. And we know damn well who the players are. I do, you do. If they can look themselves in the mirror and say, I'll give everything every week, I can show you 11 liars, Dan.
Exactly. If you look as well, though, we've got so many big games coming up. I think we've got Bournemouth again, Fulham again, Huddersfield. They're all in the top 6. If they really want to play for that shirt, we've got to put a performance there. I know it's nothing now for the rest of the season. It's probably going to be like mediocre rest of the season. We've got to put pride and passion into that shirt right now.
Dan, I agree with you. You know something? I always try and be positive. I don't want to be negative.
Same I do as well in the videos.
But week in, week out, we see this dross. The body language says they're not interested. Dean Garner, right? What's happened to him? There's got to be a split in the dressing room.
Oh, definitely.
For this to happen, Dan, there's got to be a split. There's got to be no confidence. Dan, I've watched the Albion for 40 odd years, right? This is worse than the Ron Saunders days, worse than the Bobby Gould days, and it could be the end of Steve Bruce's career if he ain't careful. So come on, lads, get your asses into gear.
Right, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for all the support so far as well, Dad. Anything else you want to say?
Well, all I want to say is thanks for watching. We're in this together. And if you've got any questions you want us to put
leave it down below, guys.
Leave it to me.
Down below.
I am going to do it. I've had enough, Dan. I love the Albion. Come on, boys!
Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on Saturday. See ya!